Hi, Martin. First of all, my name's Crimson, and I love you. I wanted to ask, when you started Wakaan, it was started as a music label, to my knowledge. Did you foresee it growing into such a large community for all of your fans?
Hey, Crimson. Wakaan was started in a vacuum where we felt that, I've always been an outsider and kind of paved my own path. We surround ourselves with people who are unapologetically themselves, but doing that for something like this, there wasn't really some free-form outlet for this type of art. So I created this out of sort of a dark space, a lack of something that I wanted to see more of. And it wasn't about, it's not so much ever for me about a destination as it is about a journey and having a purpose. And if you wanna, it's a good piece of advice, if you wanna be happy with your life and content, find something where you really love the journey. Making music, doing all this, it's a lot of work and can be tedious, and even making music, you're sitting with this like 90, 100 piece channel puzzle trying to, so you better love it a lot. And if you do, you're gonna enjoy that process, and it tends to generate better results. And then the people who are chasing stuff, they will give up. So Wakaan wasn't even started with anything like this in mind. I addressed it a little bit yesterday too, how this festival is truly funded with the energy from all you people, you wonderful people who came to us and wanted us to do this and ensured us that if we did, you would indeed show up. So it's a very great example of, I think, again, why it was started. I didn't have a plan for this at all, and sometimes it's good to just like take a little step to the side and let other people who are smarter than myself call the shots, and that's what I think this has become. I don't know if that answers your question good, but we'll go from there.
That's great. Let's go there.
Hi, I don't know if you can see me. My name is Lexi. I just want to know where the name Liquid Stranger came from, and if you can tell us how you came up with that.
Alexi, the name, it's been around for quite a long time now. I believe I was probably 20 years old or 21 when that name just came to me once during a production session. And I mentioned it to my friend and then forgot about it, and he even refused to tell me for the longest time, and finally told me, and then it still rang true. I wanted to have a name. The liquid stands for being fluid between genres and not being so rigid or set in a special form. And the stranger was that I wanted to be anonymous. I never saw myself sitting here in front of a bunch of people. I'm a very shy, introverted person. But so the stranger part was really about being anonymous, and my first plan was to send out different people. Now a lot of people actually do this, but back then it was kind of not so many people playing with masks, and I want to send out different people to play the music I made. But that wasn't a very good idea. And then I realized, it's not even so much just about the art, it's about the message behind it, and that I think I should be present and deliver myself. So here I am.
There we go. I also think that's where the hood came from.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Uniformity. We're like, if we're gonna get all these people to be Liquid Stranger, we should probably make sure that they don't know that it's somebody else. Okay. Yo. So you've been doing this for like a long time, right?
Yes.
Cool. Just checking. If you had any advice to give yourself 10 years ago, what would it be?
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
And I think I'm a person who do a lot of introspection, and I check in with myself after every day. And usually it's about what's really important for me today is treating people right and leaving no trace. It's might sound morbid, but I go to my deathbed, you know, I want to die well. If you go to that point in your life, it's easy to see what doesn't really matter so much, like money and shallow things, and you wonder what is it that I want to leave behind. So I think about that all the time. If I could, doesn't everyone want that though? Like, I want to have my youthful body, but all the wisdom and knowledge that I've accumulated, you know? So there's a lot that I could impart to myself. I think it's simple. I think I was under the illusion when I was younger a lot that things happen more by chance and random. Some people were lucky. I believed in that there was something called talent, and I don't today. I believe in hard work. The harder I work, the luckier I seem to become. And I believe in skills. You give me a person with good morals and ethics, I can teach them anything. That's something I would like to have known earlier, and not chasing all these dreams, pipe dreams, that are not even based in reality.
There we go. Hey Martin, how you doing? My name's Anthony. I'm Cheshire Smitten.
What's your name?
I'm Anthony. I go by Cheshire Smitten. I do music stuff. Sorry. I do music stuff a little bit too. I got kind of a loaded question. So I've been following y'all since y'all announced it at that UNS for Wakaan and everything, and probably 5 years before that. What is it like to have that big of a weight, not only via your own fans, but from the fans, the community, the artists, and everyone behind looking at you as a label boss for Wakaan and not only yourself?
It's fine. It's a big responsibility that I take very seriously. This is a party for everyone else, but it truly is not for me, because I need to hold that matrix and the space. So that's what changes. Like I feel the more people that I touch, and you know, the more people who care about this, the better work we need to do. So I just take this duty more and more seriously. I find myself being actually more nervous for my sets. Yesterday I was like super nervous to go up and play because the whole day crushed so hard, and I had the softest set. Like, I think you should never stop learning, and it's a dangerous place. No, but like, I don't look at myself as anything special. Like, I'm a conduit. Like, I am a switchboard. I'm good at that because I can handle energy, and then you send it out to people. I don't want to be special. I don't want you guys' attention. That's not what this is about. It's a collective. And so as long as I keep my own ego out of the way, that's the key, you know? And be able to run just greater amounts of energy through me like a switchboard and push it out to the right people. You know, I'm the face of this, but there's like hundreds of people working here, you know? So you learn to be better at, okay, like seeing your own strengths and weaknesses and delegating things to other people who are actually smarter or better suited, whatever it is, right? And that's a skill in itself. Again, going back to, it's like, if I don't have a lot of personal ego invested in this, I take the great joy of seeing all this happening, and the more I can step back in the background and see this working, I think that's the true measure of a successful endeavor, you know?
Well said.
If you like this enough, like, you will perpetuate. We will see how good this really is.
All right, here we go. I'm back over here with this guy.
Hi, Martin. I'm Kyler. I love you. My mom loves you. But I remember reading a comment of yours a while ago. You said you originally came here for like on a martial arts visa. I was wondering, with your success and busy schedule, if you still find time to practice martial arts.
Tyler, right?
Kyler with a K.
Oh. Well, martial arts has been my passion since I was young. I got into martial arts when I was 6 years old. I was the shortest guy in class, and I was raised in a small little fishing town in Sweden where people punch you first and ask questions later. So I wanted to learn how to fight. Like, there was nothing glamorous about it or something spiritual. But then when I started training, I realized that martial arts is really a spiritual path or a path of personal growth. It's like anything, you know, it's very challenging and very uncomfortable, and you need to increase your measure of self-worth and self-respect. So it stuck with me. I kept training. I've never been like some famous competitive martial artist or anything, but I went through the ranks and I've gotten a few belts, and then I got this opportunity when I was 26 to come over to Arizona and study under, at that point, the highest grandmaster in 2 forms of martial arts, Shorin-Ryu Jiu-Jitsu and Shori Kempo Karate. And so I did. It turns out that this guy was also, he was a Native American and also a shaman, so then I got into that, and you know, via him ran his martial arts academy for 5 years in Phoenix. I learned a ton. That's how I learned to be a better leader, for sure, and hold my space better. But
anything else on that?
but then music kind of music felt like I could touch more people. In a martial art class, you have about, you know, in a good class, I didn't have a very big class, like 20-30 people, and I wanted to see if I could find a conduit to speak to even more people. I think that just happened, which is good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. Sorry, I'm really nervous. First of all, I just want to say I was at Yonderville, and when you played Jump by Van Halen, I like damn near shit myself. Like, it came out, like pokers, you know?
I'll drop it tomorrow too.
Like, bro, I mean, you changed my life by like showing me how everything, how liquid could, like, how like it can be anything. You can throw anything into DJing. But the question I wanted to ask you is, like, what would be your like greatest inspirations, especially when you were like first coming up, especially any like older, like 80s, 90s EDM, maybe, stuff like that? Anything you can say?
Yeah, so of course, I'm born 1978, right? So I grew up in the 80s. So all the stuff you guys see, like Stranger Things and stuff, the music they're playing, that's the stuff I grew up with. I have a huge love for music from that era, and especially the pioneers, of course, that broke out and started making electronic music with very rudimentary, kind of archaic equipment. That hit me when I was 6, when I heard Kraftwerk the first time, and I realized I was something profound. I realized that, oh wow, I can actually make all the different parts myself. I don't even need a band. I can have full control. That set me off on my journey. Sweden, we have a lot of black metal, death metal, and there is very little segregation between the music genres because it's a very small country. So I hung out with a lot of metal people, a lot of hip-hop came later to Europe. That's where we were way behind, but I started importing records. So I've always had a very broad love of music. I think that's the whole thing. It's freeform. We don't really need, genres are good for like the press or be able to like communicate maybe something specific, but in reality, well, we're living in an era now where everything keeps mutating, all the music genres coming together, and I think that's really the true beauty.
Check. Liquid, what's up, man?
Yo.
I'm gonna come over here so you can see me. My name is Kurt. I'm a DJ producer from Atlanta. Atlanta one time, stand up. You already know. Yeah, now I want to talk to you.
You're acting like an artist already, so
for sure.
That's a big part of it right there.
For sure,
Own
man.
your space.
One of the questions I have is for mastering. What is some advice you have for, you finish a track, like the easiest way to get a clean sound, like ozone or?
The best way to get your tracks really good is to have it sound great before you even start mastering. So it's really it's like cooking. You need to use, and I'm an idea person. I'm very prolific. I write a lot of music, but I'm not by any means the best sound engineer. I'm self-taught. In our Wakaan camp, we have people who've had, 8-9 years of professional schooling. People like Sully, who would be able to answer the technical questions way better than myself. But one thing I've learned the hard way from being sloppy, because I'm sloppy, I just want to work fast, and then I leave these kind of placeholders, that sound isn't perfect, but I'll fix it later. Don't think like that. Actually, it's like, I'm gonna put this tune is kind of old, but it'll be fine. No, it will not. It's like you need to start with the premium ingredients and treat them with respect. And the more pristine, you look at every single element. Is this as good as it can be? Then you're mastering. Mastering is really just about balancing a body of work, the songs between them, and maybe, balance out some levels. And the whole loudness wars we got going on, it's not gonna last, because what you're compromising, like my set yesterday was totally unmastered, didn't do anything with it. When you play something on a big system, I will retain all the transients, nothing is squished, nothing has been distorted. So it actually hits harder, and it's cleaner.
Man, thank you so much. I want to just thank you for all this.
If you want something louder, just turn off the volume knob.
True. And then I just want to look you dead in your eyes and tell you I will be signed by Wakaan one day. I'm coming.
I love it.
I'm putting out heat.
I love it.
I'm already making some good shit. You just wait. And I will be rocking for you.
It's a beautiful feeling that people work hard and see the true meaning in this. So thank you for that. I take that as a huge compliment.
Can you dispel a rumor or confirm? Somebody told me that one of your first one or two albums might have been mastered by Tipper. True or false?
So, and again, mastering has nothing to do with making the songs. It's something you do afterwards to balance the individual volumes. Like you release an album, you don't want the song to be a little quieter or way brighter or have way too much bass. Tipper is one of the best sound engineers, and I'm, honored to have, been acquainted. I've exchanged some emails. He's a man of very few words. But at one point we tried to get an album of mine mastered, and we had trouble finding mastering engineers, and I was very poor, and people were super expensive, and Tipper came through in the clutch and did it almost like a favor. I have a huge respect for him, and yes, he did that for me. It was on arcade terrain.
Hey Martin, my name is Frankie. I'm from Philly, DJ and producer. My question is, I feel like a lot of us here don't really know the 20-year grind. So what was your 10,000th hour, giver? Is this gonna be with Stranger or is it not? If that makes sense.
You mean in a long perspective?
Yeah, what was your overcoming moment? What was something you were so down that you had to overcome to make this project what it is today?
I feel like I'm still there. I think that's the key. It's the journey again. So I don't feel like anything special. You just keep grinding. It will keep continuing. Music is a bottomless well, and you will never master it. And that's one of the beauties. That's what I also loved about martial arts. You can never truly, get to the bottom with it. I love those things. I have a huge fascination of what's out here, huge fascination of ancient history and our lost amnesiac species of humans. We're way older than we think, you know? So I approach music the same way. It's a journey that I love being on that journey. I love making music. I think it's dangerous to feel like, yeah, I got this now, like this. So it's a constant thing. I always feel like that. It's like I'm always overcoming something. I'm always trying to learn something new.
Hi, Martin.
Hey.
So I don't really have a question, but I'm here on behalf of my best friend because she got picked as a.
So naive, I shouldn't do this. You're gonna fuck you. I'm gonna. And you gotta have a little bit of that too, you know. Be intrinsically driven.
Hey Martin, my name is. I'm a medical scientist, so I do science things and listen to your amazing sounds. And I just really appreciate you, and I have a question. So, your set at Electric Forest, you apparently played 160 minutes. You played 120 different tracks?
Not quite, I think it was like 114 or something, but yes, so
I just wanted to ask you about that and see, was it planned? Did you just decide on the spot or what?
So I plan my sets differently. The one that I did with Ellis Dream, we had significantly less songs, but they played for a longer time. We had longer transitions and more kind of moments of peace, and it builds and it gets melodic. Then my other DJ style, where I do my more banging sets today, there's a couple of things, but my DJ style is no risk, no reward. It's like shock and awe, so I force myself to DJ really quickly. I also am an ambassador of all my friends' music, so I want to get through as much as possible. But really, what it comes down to, being a good DJ is being prepared. When I go up there, I know exactly what I'm doing. I make edits of every single song. A lot of it I make myself, so I have very good knowledge of what it is. I use cue points, meaning I can jump to any point in the songs, and it's not necessarily planned exactly in which order, but I've definitely gone through it a lot of times. Like I said, I make short edits. They're usually like 50 seconds to a minute. I don't have a choice. If I don't mix, it's gonna get silent. I think it's on again. So I challenge myself like that, you know? And it's kind of trial by fire. I used to be a horrible DJ, and I used to be so awkward on the mic. I'm an immigrant, I'm Swedish, I don't speak English as my first language, so it's really practice. I'm a perfect example of just like work hard on something and you can get there. DJing is just like that, and DJing is way easier than making music, I can tell you that. But it's all about structure, being prepared. Me and Sammy, we worked for 12 days straight writing all that stuff. It's a lot of work going into that. It's not a coincidence. We're not like, oh wow, they just go up and have this talent. No, we don't. We have practiced for thousands of hours. And going out on tour is, you know, especially the bus tours, you play a show every single day. People think it's so glamorous, you're out there partying, and I guess some people do, but they don't tend to last very long because it's not a lifestyle that's conducive to working every day. You get up, you eat, you use the restroom, refreshing yourself up, go play a show. That's how you get good at something, you know? You work with science, you know, the same you show up every day, put on your pants and do some science shit, and that's how you get better.
One more thing, I want to take this tattoo.
Show it to me. But I'm not coming on speakers again, I'm just doing it. Oh hell yeah, it's beautiful. The dream catchers were used to funnel out dark energies. You put them in your windows, any portal to the outside world. Thank you, buddy.
Hi Martin, thank you so much for everything you do. Like, this festival is beyond belief. The energy and the vibes that you've curated here are unmatched to any festival I've been at. The crowds are incredible, the space is incredible. I just really wanted to say thank you for that, and I wanted to ask as a follow-up to that is, do you have any one particular thing that you try to do when you're coming to your events to set up the community like this? Because it just is really unmatched from anyone that I see in the EDM community, especially from like an artist level. Like your energy that you bring for us, it really, really pushes through all of your community. And I just wanted to ask, like, what do you do to make that happen? Because it's so ever present.
A couple of people putting a festival and then all this happens. This is way deeper than that. You need to give yourself more cred, you know? If I sat here all by myself, I'd be sad as fuck. Like, this is good because you guys are here. Do you understand that truly? I say it every time I'm on stage, but I don't think it really goes in. It's not just something I say because it sounds good. It's really important. And therefore, if you know that you're important, you'll make an extra effort to be extra kind and bring even more energy. That's what I try to do. That's my entire team try to do. So it feeds off each other, right? You know you're important, you're gonna care more how you interact with every single person. You're not gonna be rude. You're gonna, right? That thing is super important. You guys need to see that.
Okay, here we go.
It's not me. I'm just a mirror of self-reflection. I'm a switchboard for this.
You're the best time. You're the best.
Hey Martin, my name is Colin. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I represent a music label of our own for freeform-based music called Sublords.
Yeah, dude.
So, you know, we're actually picking up some traction in our area, and we are super inspired by Wakaan, and we're trying to, you know, do our own path here. But what kind of, you know, I guess advice would you give to starting record labels for freeform-based music, and how do you overcome, you know, some level of imposter syndrome?
No, this is amazing, and thank you so much. Like, this is really my goal. You know, we're here to be a strong mirror of self-reflection and to be an inspiration. The rave scene saved my life. I was really an outsider, nerd. Looking through my old shot, everything was very lonely and very awkward. And so I vowed to myself to never let other people feel like that when I was around. And to have other people see that and wanting to perpetuate this culture is amazing. So I want to say thank you for doing that. I don't believe there is such a thing as imposters. So if you doing this, you just keep doing it and we'll all get better, you know? You're definitely not an imposter. You're at the right place at the right time, my friend. The best thing to do is to find a very keen balance in how much you listen to other people and other people's music and other people's inventions and their TV shows, and set aside time to work on your own stuff. If you do that, you can't really fail. And please send us some shit. I'm stoked to hear what you guys are doing. We're all like, this is what we need. You know, you're the new legacy of people. We're gonna create a better world. That's what we're trying to do. So thank you for being that person.
Hi Martin, my name is Ellie. As someone who's been coming to the mountain for like 8 years now, how did you choose Mulberry Mountain as your home, or did Mulberry Mountain choose you? We really appreciate you. Like, we can feel the love being poured back into this mountain, especially after Wakarusa days, which is how I came to love this space, and you guys have filled it back up with what we've been missing. So we really appreciate that.
I can't take any credit. It was Loper, who's standing right there, who suggested this space. because he's from Oklahoma and it's close to here. This has been a legendary place. I was here for one of the Wakaroosas too, so I knew about this place. It's one of those like portals. It's a place with immaculate energies. It's so beautiful here. So I'm glad we found it, but it was Loper who did, not me.
Cool. Let's see. We got a few more. We're gonna go here to Bucket Hat.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chris. I'm from Texas. So you said earlier you were pretty core introvert. Same. Feel you on that. I was wondering, like, with all the traveling you do, going to all these festivals, all the overstimulation and inevitable hardships you run into, like, what does your like self-care look like? How do you keep your energy at like a good level so that you can keep bringing like some of the sickest sets, like weekend after weekend and all that? Like, just how do you keep all that balanced with all the simulation out here?
It's a whole thing, and it's definitely challenging and something you have to apply yourself. I do a lot of meditation, something I do daily. Meditation is not escaping from the world, it's becoming more present. That's where you find like an anchor, like focusing on your breath or focusing on parts of your body, whatever. It's really to give your P-brain, the part of your brain that worries about bills and money and your status and stuff, to make that part go away and access a deeper level of consciousness, the second attention. That's very important to me. It's good to know who you are. I'm an introvert. I need time for myself. And as an introvert, you wake up like, I didn't come up with this, but I like this analogy. You wake up with 3 social coins and then you spend them and then you go back in. So I know that about myself. So in order for me to be super present with you guys, I also need my own little den, my own little space where I can I'm my own favorite company. I like hanging out with myself, so it's important that I do that. So obvious things, I'm in my 40s now, and I like to age with grace, so I don't party very hard, you know? It's something that I try to take out. I do a little bit of partying just to fit in and have a little fun, but it's really like a misconception that these tours are these big like parties. Loper knows, we're just sitting there with our laptops working.
It's like total nerd shit. I'm like, wow, I have not gotten up in 12 hours.
Yeah, but it's a slow burn. It's about pacing yourself a lot, at least for me.
And then we have the random night where I drink a whole bottle of tequila.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have that gear too, and I think it's also necessary sometimes. Like yesterday, I was out all night till like 6:30 in the morning listening to everyone, and it's like, first time for me, this is the shit people are talking about. This is the hot shit in town. Like, you gotta be there and experience it too, for sure.
All right, next question, here we go.
And I've taken a long time, and it's been very difficult. It's hard to find the right people and vet the people and pick the right people. I've done a very good job with Loper standing right there. Just give it the fuck up with that guy, because he keeps stuff rolling. Same with Chloe, who's my right-hand woman.
So, finally have a moment to talk to you. I don't like talking in front of crowds, so this is a little odd for me, but I am the Duke. I started my summer, this is so weird hearing myself echo also, but I started my summer at summer camp where your set, I was able to give you a fist bump as you were leaving the stage to say, hey, good set. You actually thanked us for setting up the stage. I appreciate that. But I found out through everything I've been doing, my life adventures have taken me back here to this point to Wakaan again. I had an amazing adventure here the first year. I was able to be gifted a VIP. I never had the opportunity to meet you, talk to you, but played around this adventure land, loved it. Found out this past year that we are birthday brothers, and you are the first person in my life that I've met that was born on the same day that I am. So November 13th, 1978 is my birthday also. So. So, hallucinogens changed my life. The festival scene changed my life. I quit the day job to go do festivaling, travel. I'm a nomadic gypsy now because of everything. And I, at some point in time, would like to get the opportunity to talk to you, have a conversation with you personally, just about life and this movement and what you're doing, the team that you're building, and hopefully transfer over from doing stage and security, what I've been doing in the festival scene, to possibly help your movement.
And here we are. What's your question?
For IQ. Tested for IQ. Have you ever actually taken an IQ test? Because I'm just wondering where you're at on the spectrum.
One more time, sir.
How smart are you? Have you ever taken an IQ test?
Yes, I do think that there are different levels of intelligence. And it's also about what you do with that said intelligence, because it boils down to how present you are in the space. Always. That's the bottleneck.
I'm curious if you guys have the same IQ.
Who knows?
All right.
Hello, Martin. My name is Zach. Quick question. When you're making your music, where is like a starting point for you? Like, do you work with the build up first, the intro, the drop? What's your process on that?
You want me to take that one?
Huh?
You want me to take that one?
Do you have anything to say about it?
Absolutely not.
No?
Got nothing.
My process is kind of chaotic, and it kind of boils back to the intelligence question too. It certainly doesn't really come from the mind. Again, it's more about having an open space and again become a conduit to me. It's a chaotic thing. Inspiration is like a dragon. All you can do is make yourself available, and once it comes, you jump on and try to cling on for your life. That's how it feels for me to make music. I start with any part that I feel like, and it's like, how do you get inspiration? Everything is an inspiration, and it's not often music, it's just everything. This whole thing is inspirational to me. All our life experiences. If you have writer's block, it means that you haven't got enough input. It's too much output. It's just that balance. So sometimes it's a melody, sometimes it's an instrument. You sit and fuck around and you find something cool. It's like whenever that magic happens, you know what it is when it hits you, and you go from there. Could be drums, could be whatever. That's the beautiful thing with this type of music. You can literally start from any point. And I'm never any clue where you'll arrive.
Hey Martin, my name's Brendan. We actually had the opportunity to meet once upon a time in Oklahoma City, and we do this camp for robotic Wednesdays. We got to chat it out for a little while.
You have to speak louder, my dear sir.
Sorry. We actually got to meet once before in Oklahoma City at
nice
camps. Super cool opportunity. But my question is, how do you like living in Oklahoma now? And what's it like always being on the road and hardly being at home?
What I think about what, Oklahoma?
He wants to know how you feel about Oklahoma City and what life is like on the road.
So I'm from Sweden, and Sweden and Oklahoma are similar in the sense that it's very, it's focused on farming and very down-to-earth people. In Oklahoma, you can't, no one really cares about your fancy shit or anything. You need to be a good person, and that's how you win people over, and I love that part about it. Oklahoma is a little gem. I never thought that I would find myself there, but I've moved there because that's where Loper and Chloe and everyone else lives, and I wanted to be closer to my team. So that's what happened. Before that, I lived in Scottsdale. I love Arizona and the desert, but Oklahoma has these other, I don't know, and I mean this in the best way possible because I am a redneck, small-town person. It's like farmer's common sense, but I really mean that in a good way. It's like good common sense. I like people to have that. People who can grow good potatoes.
Hey Martin,
Hey, dude.
My name's Steve. I'm a little older, most of the people here. And I only recently got turned on to EDM music by my son.
I love it.
Jake. And when I found out we were going to come to this festival, and I was going to get to share this with it, I painted the hat.
That's awesome.
He's got you on it and LS Dreams, the first two bands that he turned me on to. And when I saw y'all set Wednesday, it really changed my life.
I appreciate that. And I'm a dad myself. I have my 23-year-old son here at the festival too, so I know the feeling. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, and
good dad energy.
He came back to camp today, and LS Dreams had signed his hat. And it made me cry when I saw the joy on his face.
I appreciate that.
So my question is, will you make me cry?
I cry a lot. Emotion, energy in motion, water, the flow of life. We men traditionally, and our fathers, I don't know how old you are, but I think the younger generations of males are better at being more it's more allowed today to cry and to show those things, and I think that's very good, because this is a part of who we are. There are no bad feelings. You sit with them, you go through them, and they pass like the water. And if you cling on too much and start acting poorly, that's one thing, but no, emotions are great, and crying is a very healthy release.
I've been doing a lot of that the last couple of years. I lost my wife.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Jake is who I have left, but we've come closer together, and partially because of EDM music. I love your speaking. I love your message. I was born in 1960, so I consider myself a child of the 60s. So I went through the first hippie movement and loving this one.
Yeah,
thank you all for having me.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Fuck it, who cares about it? We're all here. Alright, we got another one.
Hi Martin, my name is Abrielle. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I love you so much. My question to you is, do you have a favorite song that you made, or a couple different songs that you made? I would love to know.
A lot of the music that I make, that's my therapy, and people have been asking previously, so I'm going a little back and forth. That's really my therapy, what keeps me sane. I'm a very emotional person, and I don't really know how all these zodiac signs work, but I'm a Scorpion. It seems damn right. Like, I'm like so emotional, and I cry a lot, and I have a lot of strong feelings, and music is an emotional language, so it fits me perfect. So I speak that language pretty fluently by now, and I can put my emotions there almost like a placeholder. Some of the songs, and it's interesting, and I would like to take the song Dissolve as an example, because I wrote that song from such a deep despair and sadness, just having lost my mentor who passed away, and at the same time I lost my girlfriend, the love of my life. And Dissolve came up. It was really written from a super dark space, but then something beautiful happens when this language of emotion gets processed through the equipment and it hits other people's ears. It acts as a healing tool. So some of the songs that I have personally almost a hard time hearing, or they came from like, whoa, okay, that's almost like a nightmare song for me. It's not to be material that heals other people. I think that's the beautiful thing with music. It's very genuine. You can't, I'm talking this away, but you can't do that with music.
So, there's this guy over here named Matthias.
Hey, buddy.
He's got a question.
Hey, Martin. I just, I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, as you know, but I grew up in South Dakota. And I know you touched on it briefly, talking about martial arts and Native American martial arts, but could you enlighten us about the meaning of Wakaan and the Native American influence?
Same. So the song "The Saw" was written partially in honor of my mentor, Soka Reagan, or Swifter was his medicine name, and he broke down the term Wakantanka for me, which is the Native Americans' phrase for the Great Spirit, the Godhead. And he broke it down into two pieces. What happened before God became God? It was two primordial essences. One was Wakaan, the female essence, and one was Squan, the male essence. And it resonated with me. It was something he felt was very important for us humans to find female, male, female balance, And again, goes back to showing emotions. It goes back to women being more empowered. It's happening and it's a beautiful thing, but that was his biggest mission in life. So I took the name Wakaan to honor him. That's really how that name came. I mean, what it means is that it's a primordial essence of God from the female perspective. So it's really the creative life force energy. It felt fitting. And then the Sasquan is the conceptive, action-oriented, how to manifest what the female essence creates. That's how, if you want to be a good partner, a woman creates the space and the man works in that space. But we also have a male and a female part within us, so it's good to do that internally as well.
Hell yeah!
That was my little play on that.
Hello, Martin. My name is Peyton, and I come from Memphis, Tennessee, and I just want to ask you, what gave you the inspiration to find your love for bass music and just the EDM lifestyle?
I think the music that we're making, has very, very primitive, archaic origins. And so I think when I went to my first Native American Sundance, they have a ceremony where they have 12 people on drums and you dance for 3 days back and forth. It's like the rape car. It's like exactly what we're doing here. This is a modern day ceremony. We use electronic equipment to amplify the sound, but we're really getting in touch with the primal essence. It's a beautiful thing with the bass too. The frequencies in themselves have healing power, and that's what we're trying to do here. It's just we use more modern means. But I think really it's like the bass, my love of bass music, and it started with techno for me. It's just primitive drum beat, the heartbeat,
Hello, Martin. And I come from Baltimore, and I just want to say, thank you so much for putting all this on, and I've been listening to music for years, and I have great respect for you. My one question, I guess, was, how did you come across the name Liquid Stranger? What's the backstory to that?
How I came across Liquid Stranger. Also, remember this, Liquid Stranger is a brand, Martin is a person, but the Liquid Stranger persona, as I said earlier, it just felt like a fitting name because it's a fluid name and no one really knows what I'm gonna do next. That's really how I thought about that. Liquid Stranger so I used to make techno and psytrance, and I was touring around with that when I was like 17, 18, 19. Then I started Liquid Stranger for all the music that didn't fit that formula, basically music without a straight kick drum, which was sort of rare, and most people did not care much about it. It's like, yeah, there's some weird shit there, but that's the stuff I did on the side. It's kind of weird that that's become my main project today. I did not really see that coming. It was just all the songs that didn't fit in anywhere. So that's where that project originally started.
We got one more question, and then we are done. Because we got shit to do, people.
Hey Martin, my name is Dan, I'm from St. Louis. I'm a fellow show thrower. My question is, how do you... We have a monopoly in St. Louis for bigger shows. How as an underground producer do you become more... I'm trying to think of the word, like how do you show yourself, say, to the bigger people, say, hey, we're a small underground unit, come book with us or come do the shows that we throw. Like, how do you... I'm trying to find a word to say that because I'm nervous.
No, you said it perfectly. It's always a challenge, and they're talking pure business, but we can also talk energetically. And someone asked a related question earlier, the label guys, the imposter syndrome, and when you do something, first people will ignore you, then they will ridicule you, then they will actively try to fucking stop you, and then they will join you. And I think it's good to keep that in mind, that it's not always pretty in the music industry. And of course I've been gatekept a lot, and the bigger people, I get what you're saying, but the key is, I say that for myself and my sets. Like, I'm amazed that you guys still come out and support me. Like, who has had this long, like, people care year after year after year? That's amazing. So thank you. But I just gotta go up and fucking crush it. The pressure is on. Like, if you go up and you crush it, and it even goes for, that's how people know. There is no shortcut. So if you keep crushing it, it's undeniable. And even if the powers that be are kind of like, we're comfortable here, you guys are gonna decide, and you show up to the stage. And I remember those feelings of leveling up for myself. I was like, oh dang, I have this like daytime set, no one's gonna be here, oh my god, but I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna keep doing that. And eventually it's like, whoa, something is happening here. People are actually coming, and you just continue. You gotta love the road. If you've learned anything from me today, is like, love the journey. Find something in your life that you're passionate about, that you don't have to get paid. You can go through, a walk on fire or razor blades. You'll still keep doing it. You find something like that. This is it for me. I'm very comfortable here.
Well said. All right, in closing, Mr. Mark, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say?
I really want to get through to you guys that this is a collective effort, and there's a selfish part in that too, because like the more I get that message across, that every single individual of you guys matter greatly here and beyond when you go home, the better, more invested people are in something. And this is also for the record label or whatever you guys are doing. The more invested you are in something, the better the results. And if you don't micromanage people, but you give them ownership over something, they're gonna go in way harder. So please remember that. Like, you guys look at me, I'm not special. I just sit here in this chair. You guys are special. Go out now today and be those people. You help others, you make sure that people have water. Those little kind of acts of kindness. That's the important takeaway here. That's what we're building, really.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us for this Q&A.
Appreciate you guys.
Different dimension with Mr. Liquid Stranger. You guys have a very happy Wakaan. We will see you Saturday.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.
EDMGEM.